because apparently his lighter died, and I just like, yeah, man, here, I hand it back in the local. I'm like, hey, you're Sean Penn. He's like, yeah. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
And that's it. I just didn't care. I just sort of showed them for a minute. I just didn't matter, and why does anybody care?
I have two. There's two Erics when he meets a celebrity. There's the opposite of what you just said. There's, oh my God, you're fucking, what's his name? Insert name, not what's his name. I generally know their names. But I freak out. I'm turning into a 12-year-old girl. I met one of the dudes from Monk one time, and I went ape shit. I was cool about it. I was like, you're the guy from Monk. And he actually was like, yes, I am. He's like, you're the second Canadian that's ever known that. And,
like,
and then I got crazy about it. But then the other Eric who meets famous people goes just as jackass, but the opposite direction. Where I'll be like, hey, what's your name? So do you want my autograph?
No.
No, I'll ask them.
Yeah. Do you want my autograph?
Do you want my autograph?
Yeah, I remember when I was walking down the street. I was in Chinatown. One of the very few times I've ever actually got to walk around Chinatown in D.C.
That's what I'm doing
in Vancouver. And I was walking down the street, and I ran into Nardwuar.
Oh, yeah.
And I just sort of paused. So I walked past them, and I paused. And I turned to the person I was with. I'm like, holy fuck, that was Nardwuar. Of course, the person I was with was young, and they didn't know who the fuck this guy was.
Right.
And they're like, what the fuck is a Nardwuar?
Yeah. And
of course, he hears me talking, and he just sort of turns around. I'm like, yeah, I'm talking about you. I said, I used to watch too much music all the time. He's like, yeah, thanks, man. I'm like, so that's what your voice sounds like.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
He starts laughing. Yeah, well, actually, I wasn't. I've always been very curious to see what his voice really was like. And it's very unassuming.
I had the pleasure of being interviewed by him on
That's
CITR.
Right, I remember you told me that. That's right.
And before the interview, he was very great guy, very nice. I was incredibly nervous. I'd never done an interview before, so the fact that my first one happened to be with someone who was huge with my friends, and that was intimidating enough. But just the fact that I had just realized his level of celebrity, and that was my first interview. Like, it was very intimidating, and I was super nervous. And he put me right at ease, made it all very cool before we went on the air. And
yeah.
And it was neat. It was a great experience, all in all. But yeah, it is weird the first time you talk to him. And you're, oh, you're just a dude.
Yeah, you're just a regular guy. Oh, that's hilarious. But he was, again, I didn't talk to him for very long. But just like, look, I want to take it for time. And you got shit you're probably doing your own way walking around. He's like, yeah, no, not really. I'm like, well, that's cool. I got to go see him. I just didn't really care too much. But I was just like, and I walked away. And I ended up spending the next, 20 minutes trying to describe Nardwuar to this person. Be like, no, it was he would interview all these musicians and celebrities and stuff, but he always had this little British cap on, and he always talked with this really weird voice. I can't even mimic it, but he always had this really weird voice, and he was always a good interview because he would always ask good questions.
Yeah,
he just did it in a very comedic way.
He started out by he would get one question at a press conference, and he would just ask the most ridiculous thing. And that's how he built up his reputation, was just asking stupid questions. It's actually quite funny. They were always tasteful. It was nothing that would offend anyone, but it was just a question that guaranteed they've never been asked before.
Which is not an easy thing to do to people who get interviewed a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
He's a neat guy. But yeah. I was going to say, I was the same way with Pearl Jam. It took me 2 hours to build up the courage to finally go talk to them. I just stood there staring in awe. It's like they're just eating at a table like people.
Oh my God, they eat.
And then I went up and talked to them for all of, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. And then I just walked away and went outside and cried. Eddie was funny. Eddie told funny jokes. And I was probably a complete jackass. To be honest, I don't remember anything I said. It was just, I couldn't believe that they were there. I knew I was going to get backstage at Virgin Fest because my buddy's band was playing, but I didn't expect that they would just be backstage at their own concert. I don't know why that wouldn't make sense to me, but I was like, no, they're Pearl Jam. They don't hang out backstage. They're
Yeah, why would they do that? Yeah.
they probably fly in before the concert and then fly out again or something. I don't know. I don't know what I think celebrities do, but they don't do anything that cool.
I still remember the band Split Toxic.
Oh, of course. White Lies,
Right.
Black Truth.
Right. I wasn't a huge fan, but I was a bit of a fan. And one year, a buddy of mine got tickets to the Molson. It's called the Molson Canadian Rocks.
Yeah, I know
What's the
this
name of
story.
it?
We've told
That's
this
right,
story
yeah.
on the air.
That's right. I probably did.
On our
but yeah, I got to.
Rockstar night.
Yeah, I got to meet and talk to him. He called me over because I was wearing a Split Toxic fucking t-shirt.
Right. Very
And
cool.
which is pretty awesome, and the fact that he even remembered me enough that when I ran into him at the strip club a couple years later, he's like, "Yeah, I went to see your band play, but totally forgot what day it was until I missed it. I forgot all about it." I'm like, "Oh, shit, that's awesome! You remember?"
Yeah, it's always
know?
great. I had a similar. I was at a house party that Biff Naked was at one time, and I hadn't been invited to the party, so I stood in the corner of the room with a lampshade on my head the whole time, pretending I wasn't there. It was really. And she came up and she just knocked it off my head. And "You're not as funny as you think you are." And I was like, okay. And then yeah, it was just very similar. A buddy of mine got a gig playing bass for her, just very briefly. And I ended up running into her again. I was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Eric." She's like, "Oh yeah, lampshade, good."
It's amazing when they remember you.
And I'm like, "You remember?" I should have been kind of embarrassed. I shouldn't have been excited at that point, I think, because I think that pissed her off a little bit. But I was just happy. "You remembered? That's so cool." "No, you were still a jackass. I remembered you were a jackass." "Yeah, but you remembered. That's what matters."
That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
I got to hang out and party with the band, the punk band Pennywise, one time.
Oh, cool.
And which was a real treat because they're like a bunch of really good guys. And one of the first things that I said when I got backstage, because like we were talking to them, like me and a couple guys were talking to them like outside of the show. We were just sort of shooting the show, like, or not outside the show, but after the show. We just came out. We're all, because this is back in the day when punk bands would come out and just talk to the crowd, like after the show if you hung out.
I think they
They'd go to the back room.
Right shows.
Yeah, I guess for the most part. I don't know. I haven't been to a punk show in a while.
I go.
But,
what's the festival that kind of got lame? But it, which one am I thinking of?
You talking about the big punk show?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Warped Tour.
Warped Tour. Thank you. That's exactly the one. And apparently they all just walk around and they're just like when they're not playing, they're just in the crowd.
Yeah.
At Warped Tour. Anyway. Sorry.
So yeah, so we got hanging out, shooting the shit with them, and then we just myself and the guitar player and the singer got in this sort of engrossing conversation, telling stories, having a big laugh. And I was like, "You got to come back and hang out with us for a bit." I'm like, "Yeah, man, so I'll fucking teach you boys how to drink." And they're like, "You realize we're a touring punk band? We know how to drink." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, you're Americans. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
Yeah.
So kind of like goading them a little bit, and or completely goading them with my kids. And so we get backstage. No, one of the things they knew about them by watching some of their home videos that they released was that they would fuck with people. They would get them so fucking drunk or high or whatever else, and then they would like strip them naked and throw them in the fucking hotel fucking in the hallway and leave them locked out of the room naked. And
always
all
funny.
types of weird shit.
Always funny.
So I turned to them and I'm like, "Just so you know, I'm not passing out. There's nothing you guys can do that's going to make me pass out. I will laugh the whole fucking night, and there's nothing you can be able to do about it." The guitar player looks at me and goes, "Really?" Opens up his guitar case and pulls out a fistball size of hash.
Oh.
And he goes, "You're fucked tonight." And I'm like, "Oh, shit." Now, for the record, I got fucking wasted that night. But I outlasted everybody. I was the last one to fucking fall asleep, and I was the first one to wake up in the morning. And when I woke up, everybody else was still passed out, fucking drunk all over the fucking room. And I wake up, and I'm like, "Well, how the fuck am I getting home?" I'm stuck all alone in downtown Toronto with no way. I got no money, no cell phones back then. I got no way of getting home. And one of the roadies and their bus driver, which was more like a glorified large van, actually drove me home from downtown Toronto. So I got to get dropped off at my house by the Pennywise touring van.
That is very cool.
which was awesome. I mean, that shit just doesn't happen anymore. It's so sad. I mean, that was an epic time to be able to sit back. Like I met NoFX face to face. Hung out and partied with the guys from 88 Thinkers. Louis one show where they actually did a call out to us.
Yeah.
Hey, cheers to the Milton crowd, which is pretty fucking cool because everybody's like, who the fuck is Milton crowd, you know? There's like 3 of them in the back going, yeah, it's us.
I had kind of the opposite of what you had because after that same Virgin Fest, well, I went to the after party, and Pearl Jam didn't go to the after party, obviously, because they're Pearl Jam. They don't do that. But
that's right.
Chaos was there. So I started drinking with Chaos. And then Chaos came back to my buddy James's place. And then he's just blazing, like, joint after, matching me cigarette for cigarette. He's going joint for cigarette, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like 5, 6 in the morning, and I'm like, how do you throw Chaos out, right? But,
yeah, exactly.
I kind of want to get some sleep here, Chaos. You can't say that because it's fucking Chaos. But you're sitting like, what do you? It was
you just
very
sort of
uncomfortable.
Like stop talking. Yeah, you just sort of stop talking and just
yeah.
keep staring at them.
Here's something for all the Canadian listeners who might be big Chaos fans, as I am, very big fan of the man. Can't take a hint.
Yeah. He can take a hit, but he can't take a hit.
He can take a hit. Like, I've never seen anyone smoke weed like that, but can't take a hint at all.
Oh, that's
very
funny.
nice guy, but
here's something that our American friends will not know the reference to, but there is a band called Dread Zeppelin.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. And was. They don't really exist anymore. But I was at a house party in Milton. Shitty little Milton house party that somebody just said, hey, we should go to this guy's house party. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll go. And I showed up, and sitting in the corner is the lead singer. And I look and I'm staring at him. He's like, what? I'm like, you look really fucking familiar. He goes, no, I don't. I said, bullshit, you don't. I said, who the fuck are you? and he says his name, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know that. He goes, he goes, you ever heard of the band Dread Zeppelin? I'm like, you motherfucker, you're the fucking singer. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck are you doing in Milton? He goes, I have no idea. I just ended up here. I'm like, you're at a high school party. What the fuck are you doing here? Like, so we ended up just sitting there, just like, I just basically ribbed him for like an hour straight over the fact that here's this guy in this fucking band that's got video so much music and shit, and he's hanging out in Milton at a high school fucking party.
I can see that.
Sitting in the corner getting drunk.
I can see our podcast ever gets like that. You're going to hear that conversation about me a lot.
Yeah.
You're like, huh? What are you doing here? Be like, why? Where am I? Oh.
Shut up and stop asking me questions.
This is your high school assembly, is it?
Thought it was mine. Sorry.
Didn't quite look like my dressing room, but I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
I'll go put my pants on and get out of here.
That's great.
Famous people are awesome.
It's true. I gotta get going, dude. I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking burnt out and I'm sweaty and shit. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with this episode.
Oh, just post it as it is. Fucking who cares?
As it is. The train wreck that was July 25th. I like it.
Why? And call it that. Call it the train wreck. That is the Eric and Gordon.
That's a good way to get out of editing.
That's it.
It's like when I used to pass it off as, we wanted to give you a behind-the-scenes look at the show.
In other words, I just couldn't have been bothered to do editing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great.
That's great. Well, I'll end it on the regular note because I should, and I apologize to Radio Public for not plugging you tonight. I'll do a better job tomorrow. I missed a couple of plugs because of the shit show that happened, but it's not like we're not going to be on again.
Exactly.
This was a lot of fun.
We'll make it up next time.
I feel a lot better. Gentlemen, grow up, and women, be nicer to me. Until tomorrow, take care of each other.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fuck
That's all
Mark
I got.
Gossler.
Fuck you.
All right, buddy, that was a lot of fun.
All right. That was good, man.
Enjoy your resting.
Thank you, sir. I'll see you enjoy the rest of your evening.
I have you tomorrow and not Saturday, is that right?
I believe so. It's not 100%, but I believe so. I might, depending on time, if I'm done early tomorrow.